Hey there. If you're like me, you think that the TickTick habit tracker is a great idea and a great way to track and manage your habits on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. But also, if you're like me, you might find that your habit tracker is mostly blank when you pull it up. And that's because we set out with the best of intentions. We go and we set up all of our habits in TickTick just the way that they're supposed to be. We might even set up categories for them. We set up their settings for each habit just like they're supposed to be. And then once we're done doing that, we forget about it, right? And we go about our daily lives and we never look at our habits again. Or maybe once in a while or once every couple of days, we pull up our habit tracker and then we try to think back, oh, did I read yesterday, or did I go for a walk 3 days ago at lunchtime? I don't remember. That's what seems to happen to me when I set up these habits. I set them and forget them and forget them. So in this video, I want to talk about a couple of methods to maybe encourage us to keep up with our habits within TickTick. And one of those methods is an alternative approach to habits, which I'm calling negative habits. Hello, I'm Joshua Best. All right, so I'm pulling up my TickTick habit tracker, and this might be what yours looks like. You can see I marked a habit of limit my phone screen time to 1 hour, maybe last week, it was 6 days ago or so, and read 20 pages 5 days ago. And since that time, I haven't been keeping up with my habits. You can see that all of my habits for the last 4 days are blank. So did I not exercise at all? Did I not go on any walks at lunchtime? Maybe I did, probably I didn't. Who knows, because I haven't been keeping up with it. And so one of the reasons why is because these just aren't visible to me, right? So if I go over to my tasks, and a lot of times I'm looking at my today view or maybe my next 7 days view, and I'm going through my task list, right? I'm not paying attention to my habits. I'm just going through my task list. So the first thing to do to encourage you to keep up with your habits is to go back to the habit section, go up to the 3 dots in the upper right corner, settings, and then check this box that says show in today and next 7 days. All right, so now if I go back to my tasks and pull up the today view, down here is a section for habits. And here are all my habits that I need to work on today. So this makes it much more visible to me that I need to go on a walk at lunchtime or read 20 pages. And so once I do that, I can just check off that habit here within my today view or over on my next 7 days view as well. You can see today's habits here. All right, so that's the first thing I wanted to mention, is that you can go check that box to show your habits in your today view and your next 7 days view. This is very useful if you use those views. That way you don't have to remember to try to go to your habits section from time to time and flip back and forth between your habits and your today views. So that's the first thing. The second thing I want to talk about is what I'm calling negative habits. So let me go back to my habit tracker. So what I've been thinking is, instead of having these positive habits like exercise for 15 minutes, I'm going to make them more of a negative. So I'm going to right click on this, click edit, and I'm going to change this to didn't exercise for 15 minutes. And then I'm going to save it. All right, so now didn't exercise for 15 minutes. I'm going to change this to didn't go on a walk. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go into this and I'm going to use a bit stronger word. Failed to go on a walk at lunchtime. Save that. All right, for phone screen time, I'm going to say looked at my phone more than 1 hour. And for read 20 pages, I'm going to say couldn't even read 20 pages. And let's save that. All right, so now these are my habits, right? They're more of a negative habit. And my idea around this is that I won't have to check these off. So for example, if today I exercise for 15 minutes, I'm good. I don't need to check that off because I exercised. So just leave it as it is. But let's say I didn't go for a walk at lunchtime. I have to physically come in here and say, yeah, I failed to go on a walk at lunchtime today. That was a failure. And to me, I think making it more of a negative is going to have a bigger impact on me, because I don't want to say that I failed at that, right? I mean, I failed to go on a walk at lunchtime. So I'm thinking that putting a negative connotation on these is going to jab me just a little bit harder to really want to achieve some of these habits. I don't want to come in here and say that I looked at my phone for more than an hour today. I mean, who wants to admit that? I don't want to admit that, but if I did it, I got to come in here and check that. Couldn't even read 20 pages. Yeah, I couldn't even read 20 pages today. So this I would have to go in and change. So if you remember, you can edit your habits here. And right now my goal is 20 pages a day when this was a positive habit. But in the case of the negative habit, I probably want to put it as achieve it all. So that way when I come in here, I can say, yeah, I couldn't even read 20 pages a day. Check that off. So that's my idea of negative habits. I'm going to give it a try. If you guys happen to try this approach, let me know in the comments what you think of it. At this point, I don't know if it's a good idea, a bad idea, if I'll stick with it or if I won't. But it's just an idea I had, and I'll let you in on where I got this from. So I follow Cal Newport, and if you don't know who Cal Newport is, he's the guy that wrote Deep Work, which was a book that came out probably 10 years or so ago. And that was a great book about how to really get some work done, set some time aside to actually go into your work deep and get it done. So that's a good one. He's kind of an anti-social media guy. And he just came out with a new book called Slow Productivity, which I think just came out maybe last week. So I haven't read that one yet. And he also has a podcast that I listen to pretty frequently. I like a lot of his ideas about things. Not all of his ideas, of course, but I like a lot of them. So anyways, he had a post, and I'll bring it over here to the screen. Okay, and this article came out December 31st, and it was called On Metrics and Resolve. And so he has this time block planner, which is a paper planner book that he sells. And one of the things that it has is this daily metrics, which you can see up here. And this article kind of talks a little bit about why and how to use daily metrics in his time block planner. And these symbols, I believe you kind of just make up as your own. So, R might stand for read, I'm not sure, because these are personal symbols that you make up for your own purposes. But so the one that caught my eye is the one that's crossed out right over here, the first one, which says EX and it's crossed out. And if I scroll down in the article, he explains what that means. So right here, it's the first one. You did not exercise, crossed out X. So I thought, well, that's kind of a powerful thing to have to write down your daily metric and then cross it out because you didn't even complete it. I thought, well, maybe that's a more powerful way to do our daily habits in TickTick. So that's where I kind of got the idea from. I'm going to give it a try. Like I mentioned, if you give it a try, let me know in the comments what you think of it. But that's all for this video. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.